Hello and a very warm welcome. Thanks for tuning in to your favorite news destination. You're watching In Your Interest with me, Kabir Naqvi, and on the segment tonight, first up, we need to talk about something so basic, so fundamental that it's quite rightly embarrassing that we're still talking about it in 2026. That's right, water. Clean drinking water. The most essential requirement for human survival. And yet, in just 2 weeks, Madhya Pradesh has shown us how spectacularly we continue to fail at providing this basic right to our citizens. In just 2 days, India will celebrate a milestone, 76 years as a republic. We will see parades, we will hear speeches about our global ambitions, our digital prowess, and our economic speed. But we need to pause the celebration and look at a much harsher truth. After 7.5 decades of self-rule and independence, we are still struggling to provide the most basic human necessity, a glass of clean drinking water. Whilst we prepare for Republic Day, 22 people in Mhow, in Madhya Pradesh, are fighting for their health due to drinking contaminated water. They're showing symptoms of jaundice. 9 of them have been rushed to the hospital. And perhaps most heartbreaking of all, the victims include children as young as 5 and 8 years old. And this isn't an isolated incident. Just look at what happened in Indore. Let's refresh the memories of all the viewers. Official figures suggest at least 15 people died. Investigation reports pointed to the obvious problem: leaking pipelines passing through dirty drains, sewage mixing with drinking water. The infrastructure was broken. Everyone knew it was broken, and yet nothing was done until people started dying. Remember what happened in Noida as well. Now, let's zoom out from Madhya Pradesh and look at the bigger picture, because this problem isn't limited to one state or one city. Across the country, the struggle for clean drinking water is quite real, and it's getting worse. Our water sources are under attack from all sides. Industrial waste and sewage are choking our rivers, whilst farm runoff contaminates what remains. Beneath the ground, the situation is just as bleak. We have drained our aquifers to the point where wells are now running dry. And what water is left is often laced with arsenic, fluoride, and nitrates. But this isn't just about nature, it's about negligence as well. Who are we kidding? There is a massive infrastructure gap that we just can't ignore. In rural India, safe pipes and sanitation systems are missing. Millions of our citizens simply cannot afford to treat their water, leaving them vulnerable to every sip that they consume. It is clearly a governance crisis. We're seeing a pattern of rural neglect and weak planning. We see crumbling infrastructure where pipes leak and repairs are delayed for months on end. We see pollution laws that exist on paper but are actually ignored in practice. And when funding is poor and accountability is so low, the result is what we are seeing in Mhow today. We cannot claim to be a superpower when our children are hospitalized simply for drinking water. Who is accountable when a fundamental right like clean water turns into a health hazard? Have we simply accepted that some deaths are just the cost of doing business in our country? With me on the broadcast, take a look at this. Wing Commander Anuma Acharya, spokesperson for the Congress Party. Many thanks, Wing Commander. Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, Chairman, Nephron Clinic, is with us. Professor Bejon Misra, consumer policy expert, and Sanjay Rana, political analyst, also with us on the broadcast. Mr. Rana, let's get the snowball rolling here. No blame games, but it's shameful that we still need to talk about this. 2 incidents in quick succession: Indore, now Mhow. Clean drinking water is a basic civic responsibility. It's not a welfare scheme that the government puts out. Take a look at some of those pictures on our screens. Why do you think is routine water quality audits still not catching contamination before people, let alone young children, are falling sick?
Kabir, is this question to me?
Yes, Mr. Rana.
Hi, Kabir. Good evening and good evening to my fellow panelists. Absolutely, if you look at as a citizen of this country, obviously is a question mark on all of us. I would say is a social responsibility. We need to take care of everything, along with obviously government has to take care of, no doubt. And we have been struggling from last couple of years. I would say since independence, we have not thought or we have not made any such plan which should last for a long term. So we have been working a short term plan, and obviously there is no long term plan. If any choke has happened, take it your transportation, take it your electricity, take it your communication media, everything till the time everything is not choked, we are not getting up and gearing up. So that's the problem with the Indians, and we need to come out from this. As far as this contaminated water is concerned, or indoor case is concerned, whether it is a one death or whether it's a two death or three death, doesn't matter the number. Is a concern for all of us as a citizen of this country, and is concern for the government as well. Therefore, the government is anyways taking action, but whatever's happened we cannot change for sure, but it should not happen. We need to take a corrective action, and I'm absolutely confident that government of Madhya Pradesh or any government, take it any government of this country is taking a corrective action. But we should not do the politics at all, because it's a human life, whether it's a Noida, whether it's an Indore, whether it's any part of the country, we are human being and we need to respect each other. Life is very precious, and if we are not taking as a precious, we should not depend upon others. As a citizen of this country, we have some responsibility and as a duty as well to perform what we have to do. It number one. Number two, government has to take a corrective action. Government has to have a plan, have a roadmap for short term things and long term things. Yes, I think there are some couple of failures are there on which government is taking action, and it's an alarming situation for everyone. It is. I'm not defending any government. I'm not defending, because I believe as a citizen is our as our job as well, and we have to ask the
It's going to
question
be a
to government.
doomed task if somebody goes out
We,
and defends the government right now, Mr. Rana. I mean, you're making pertinent points here, but I mean, you know, you're a political analyst yourself. Had it been the Congress party here, the ruling dispensation in the center would have gone all guns blazing at the MP
Kabir,
dispensation right now. Take a look at what
Kabir,
happened in Indore. How can, in such quick succession, something like this happen in Mhow?
Kabir, understand when this kind of infrastructure, when we build, is not building as per the plan. Obviously, if you go abroad, their planning structure is totally different as compared to Indian planning structure. I'm not denying. I understand there are some couple of failures which government has to, corrected long back, but they are failed to do it. But who responsible? Please understand, government and administration. I think I'm not blaming or saving anyone. Please understand. It's not Congress or it's not Bharatiya Janata Party. Is our country. And if any failure, any side, if human life is coming on question mark or anything happened to human life, then we need to ask the question. And am I asking? But government is taking the corrective action. But the person who's driving it is the more responsible. I'm not
Okay.
saying chief minister is not responsible, but the commissioner of the Indore is responsible, and commissioner has to answer
The
to people
entire
of
governance
Indore why it's
mechanism is,
happened.
questionable right here. They're all absolutely answerable. The top minister
Yeah,
to the
top to bottom,
bottommost
everyone
Babu,
is answerable. I
everybody
agree.
is questioned, is supposed to answer these questions right now. And how can the common man out there not be angry? I mean, let's bring in the Congress's position here, opposition in Madhya Pradesh as well. Let's talk about pressure without ground standing and avoid questions like why didn't you fix it earlier? Incidents like Indore and Mhow wing commanders suggest systemic failures. What is it that the Congress is demanding from the ruling dispensation right now? And how are you looking at these developments? I mean, collectively, party or no party, all of our heads should hang in shame.
Absolutely. Good evening to you and the panelists. I was surprised that the person was talking about should not do politics. That means since nobody from our home is affected, we should keep quiet. We should allow government to take their own course of action. We should wait until they do it. And even if they don't do it, we should not even bring it to the notice of people. Wow, it's so beautiful. This kind of civic collapse survives only in India because authorities think that they can get away with anything. A republic that cannot give safe water is not developed. It's a failed civic system. I don't know. This BJP government always builds big buildings, wide roads, but ignores the basic drainage system. And that is the root cause of this civic failure. If clean water cannot be ensured, then what right does this government has to govern? And this is a repeated failure. Everybody can see there is a absolute collapse. There is an absolute, and everything has to be washed away. We got to say only the administration is responsible for that. And why not the mayor of Indore or the or Mhow? Why they are not responsible? Are they only to secure votes and get away with their responsibilities? Actually, when the BJP governments are there, nobody fixes any responsibility. Nothing happens to anyone. We can see the example of Kailash Vijayvargi right in front of us. The Indore mayor, I think some Bhargav his name is. They are also talking, giving sermons, but no action has been taken and it is a repeated failure. I don't know. Are we going to be awakened only our family members are affected? It is shameful when we say that it should not be politicized. Nobody is politicizing it. We are only asking the question, government to give answers and to do whatever they have done. It should not be repeated. And that repeated failure clearly says that their BJP doesn't know how to govern. BJP doesn't have any good governance. BJP doesn't even know how to do a basics of the governance. They can't even provide clean water, clean air.
Okay, all right. We got your opening statement, Wing Commander. Pertinent points that you've raised over there. Some credible questions as well. I saw some of those on social media as well. With due permission from Dr. Bagai and Professor Misra, I'm going to give Mr. Rana a quick rebuttal and then I'm going to come to you. Mr. Rana.
Obviously, I totally agree with the Wing Commander. We should not do the politics. Plus, please understand, few years back, the councillor of that area was the Congressee. He was not responsible. We should not ask the question to the council who was ruling at that point of time? Few years back. 5 to 6 years back. Baba, 5 to 6 years back, your council was there. And he was driving everything. When you don't know the background, you are coming from the opposition party.
I cannot allow somebody to just do a blah, blah, blah.
Now a scapegoat, the councillor is going to be made the scapegoat. Just like it happened in the Noida case, the junior engineer, the junior most official is going to be made the scapegoat.
But please understand, everyone is responsible. Few years back, 7 years back, some Congress councillor was there and he was doing everything. While he was not responsible, he is not taken with. I am not, defending any mayor. I'm not defending minister. I'm not defending chief minister. But please understand, he is also accountable. And number two, when you think that there is some problem, it is happening from the last couple of days or maybe a couple of months, then why the Congress party and other people were sleeping? They are not in the opposition. They have their duty and responsibility to raise the red flag in case government is not doing the right thing. But everyone was sleeping and they were waiting for the collapse to happen. And it was one area, madam.
What arguments are there? I don't know what kind of argument. I don't know any.
And you don't know your councillor. Who's your councillor?
Speak like this.
You don't know who was the civic body there and who was who.
Where you are.
First of all, you need to do exercise. You need to do exercise.
Okay, all right. Let's bring in Dr. Bagai. Dr. Bagai, from a factual and an unsettling aspect that we're looking at, in these horrific developments taking place in Mhow, that too so close to what happened in Indore. We're learning 27th of January is when the next official audit is going to take place, and that number 15 death toll might just increase to above 20, more than 24 that have lost their lives due to drinking contaminated water. Symptoms like vomiting, symptoms like jaundice, they point to serious contamination. This is not low-level graft that we talk about, who was the councillor back then. Why could the new councillor not hit the ground running when they finally assumed charge? What does this tell us about the kind of pathogens that people are exposed to, and not just exposed to, let me rephrase this, pathogens that people are quite literally drinking from their glasses?
Good evening. I think all our heads hang in shame. What's the cost of a human life in India? Keep all politics aside. Contaminated water of such grade is incompatible with life. We are losing human lives for something which is entirely preventable. Therefore, it is unacceptable, it is unpardonable. Whatever is the maximum punishment under law should be meted out to the civic agencies and the government officials, irrespective of which state and which party. Unless and until we don't name shame, mere suspension is not enough. These officials have to be terminated from their government jobs and their pension has to be terminated. If you teach 5 lessons in India, all government officials will actually come to terms that a government job is not a passport to luxury. We have to work to earn. I think we have to carry the honor on our sleeve to save human lives. What does this kind of contamination contain? Nitrogen compounds, salts which are inedible, pesticides, heavy metals, toxins, hydrofluorocarbons, organic compounds, methane, micro nanoplastics, and various other toxins which harm the body. Immediate effect, of course, is nausea, vomiting, dehydration, death. What is more concerning is that a patient may actually consume this, come out of the initial aftermath, but months later die because of cancers, because of exposure to arsenic, heavy metals, and microplastic, infertility, diabetes mellitus, heart attacks, brain strokes. Small children are going to have kidney cancers, liver cancers. This is not fair. We are in 2026. The minimum we can give our citizens is clean drinking water. What are we asking for? As a doctor, we can spend more than a month trying to save just one child who's critically unwell in the ICU. And here, because of apathy, we can lose dozens, and then they become a statistical number in our analysis. A week later, we will not be talking about this. I want everyone to wear the shoes of the parents who've lost their small children. I want people to understand who've lost their near and dear ones, their spouses, their grandparents. Again, I repeat, my head hangs in shame.
So does the team here at News 9, sir, to be very honest. I mean, it's quite unimaginable that this is happening so close to what happened in Indore. Those questions, Mr. Rana, we need answers to those questions as well. And Wing Commander as well. I mean, you know, just apart from statements and rhetorics, it's something that we really need to do. Over 7.5 decades of independence, and people are still thirsty for safety in a glass of water. Professor Bijon Misra, let me quickly come to you. From a consumer policy and residents' rights perspective, citizens first, that's what we say, right? Many families rely entirely on municipal water. And from a medical perspective, it's so risky. Look at what Dr. Begai just told us. How risky is it when untreated sewages and those kind of pipelines mix with drinking pipelines? Who's really accountable in that position?
Kabir, let me take you back to from where I was born and brought up, a city called Jamshedpur. You know, in Jamshedpur, you won't believe we used to get potable drinking water ISI standard in our taps. And why it happened, when I did that study, when I visited their sewage treatment plant, I visited their water supply, distribution system,
right.
I studied all that. What I found, that everyone who is working there are highly sensitive towards their responsibility and work which they are doing, because they know that they're handling a very important commodity which is very essential for the citizens. And they knew. It was no rocket science. Everybody knew. And we all knew in Jamshedpur that we can safely drink that water, because I went and saw that they used to get it tested regularly. There was a surveillance mechanism. Samples used to be drawn from every tap, in a random sampling mechanism, and tested on a daily basis, and reports made public. And wherever they found that there was any kind of a leakage, or there is a kind of a alert there, they should take immediate corrective action. Now, this is no rocket science. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is that this was all happening out of private money. I mean, Tatas were doing that as a philanthropic work. They were not looking for profit. But here, we pay our taxes in full.
Yep.
It is increasing year by year. The taxation is going up. But what happens to this money? These politicians, they keep fighting for this. They get elected, they go to the parliament, and they go to the assembly to do what? To fight with each other on these, or plug these loopholes and gaps. They are made to be made responsible. I have not seen any chief minister stepping down till date for such a thing happening, irrespective of any political party. I've not seen it in any, the culture is not there, the attitude is not there. the people just don't understand that how sensitive these issues are. They don't understand that our citizens are not morons. They all understand it. But unfortunately, in a democratic system, the numbers prevail. And when people come to power, they just don't understand their responsibility. It is
Yep.
very, very pathetic and sad. Kabir, what I want to tell you is the only way to wake up these, Kambakunas who are sleeping all the time on these issues is to really make sure that, as Doctor mentioned, that we all have to, as taxpayers, make things accountable.
Yeah,
Make
absolutely.
political
Criminal
parties
negligence. Clean
accountable.
water is paid for through taxes and the user charges, just like you pointed out, Professor. Mr. Ram, I'm going to come to you. You do want to give a rebuttal to Wing Commander. Do go ahead, but talk to us on In Your Interest as a citizen of this country first, not as a political analyst, not as somebody who sides with a political party. I don't want to name any political party here. And I'm going to ask the same question to the Congress spokesperson here as well. But clean water is paid through for taxes and user charges. Is this not criminal negligence? If something like this would have happened in an urban setup, God forbid something like this happens in one of our homes, who's going to be accountable? Wouldn't we want the councillor, the government officials head on a plate?
Kabir, I have been talking as a citizen of this country, as a common man. I've never ever, for this particular incident, I don't ever think that I am coming from XYZ ideology. Simple as that. Please understand, I was just hearing.
Is this a governance failure, Mr. Rana? Is this a governance
example.
failure? Let's first address that.
It's absolutely a administrative failure. I'm not denying. And the people who are responsible for that, immediately they should have been sacked and terminated. Not sacked, terminated immediately, and then put the behind the bars. But government is taking action. Putting the behind bars is not the solution. We need to find out why it's happened. Now, firstly, we'll take the corrective action, because sometimes what we take just action. Action is not going to work it out, terminating one person, terminating two person, or blaming some party or blaming not some other party. The important is that why it's happening or why it's happening in our country. We cannot provide clean water. We cannot provide clean air. We cannot provide infrastructure, basic infrastructure I'm talking about, for which we have been paying the taxes. So we as a citizen of this country are equally responsible. Why we are having such administrative system across around us to making us fool. Suppose example, it was happening. Take an example, it was happening from last couple of months as per the information which I have. So why they have not gone to the local councillor or raised the concern with the ministry or raised the concern with the commissioner? So sometimes as a citizen, I'm just talking as a citizen, sometimes as a citizen, we are not taking our responsibility to raise the flag and the problem which we are facing. I was hearing Mr. Gentleman, he was giving example of Jamshedpur. When I was a kid, I used to have tap drinking water. There was no packaged drinking water at that point of time, and we were not allowed to have it because it was a luxury. So why we are not agreeing and accepting the facts? Number one. Number two, these kind of incidences are happen again. I'm saying because of the lack of the planning. Any planning commission, I'm not talking the planning commission, city planning commission, they are not doing the planning for the long term, the short term. And if the age of the pipeline is 10 years or 15 years, then it should be checked over the interval of time, which we sometimes fail to do.
I'm just saying, Mr. Rana, no, you're absolutely right. I'm just saying, Mr. Rana, sometimes corrective measures come in thick and fast, but after the deed has already been done. In that Noida case, take a look at so much that has happened at that water-filled pit. But after we've lost that 27-year-old Noida techie, we've got ambitions that are global, but the reality is so toxic. We want Olympics to take place here, but look at the level of pollution here. Pigeon droppings at a badminton open that's taking place here in the country. I mean, it is quite shameful, needless to say. To the Congress spokesperson on the panel with us, Wing Commander, if Congress were in power tomorrow, let's be realistic and pragmatic. 30 seconds to you. What do you think the party is going to change to ensure that such outbreaks don't repeat within weeks of each other?
First of all, Congress will always follow SOP, standard operating procedures, which BJP doesn't even understand what it is. Because
really?
I say
SOS?
that because you push the tragedy which happened.
Let them answer, Mr. Rana. let the
Who
wing
is
commander
talking?
answer.
Why is he talking? See, it happened in Yugpurush Dham. There were 11 children who died in June and August 2024. Again, then Bhagirath Pura case happened.
There was
Before
a
that-
Bhopal incident
before
as
that,
well,
in
where your
a
Prime Minister,
hospital,
our Prime Minister
the
Rajiv
rats had
Gandhi,
bitten the children.
escaped the CEO
So
of the
Congress
CEO of the
is
Bhopal
always,
Kand.
Congress always
You, I think you missed out the
hears
Bhopal
politics.
Kand, gas Kand, what you
Shut
did,
up
what
now.
Congress
Can
government
you
did.
allow me to speak?
So do
Can
not
you allow
give
me?
All right then.
lecture over
I mean, I'm
here.
just going to add to the list that there was an entire cough syrup tragedy as well. We don't have to go as far and back as the Bhopal gas tragedy. The cough syrup incident also happened in one of the BJP ruling states as well. And this is not just about BJP, this is not about Congress, this is about accountability and civic apathy. We can't do this BJP Congress every time. Young lives are being lost. From a public health standpoint, should access to clean drinking water be treated as a non-negotiable right, Dr. Begai, isn't it?
I think discipline and governance has to be a habit. It cannot be a one-off occurrence once in a month or once in a year. We have to make people accountable. We have to make people absolutely responsible to the citizen.
Yep.
Like I have said, make an example, set an example, the rest will follow course in line. We cannot lose human lives for something which is a preventable cause. This is a man-made disaster. This is simple amounting to murder. I'm not bothered which government is in power in which state. All I'm interested is that the citizens' lives must be protected.
Yep. Professor Mishra, final 30 seconds. Your message to everybody as we're looking towards Republic Day celebration, 76 years of freedom.
So I would be kindly give me more time.
Wing Commander, I'm completely run out of time here. My apologies. I'm going to go to Professor Mishra. Professor Mishra, please, final 30 seconds.
No, my final message is I want to see heads roll. I want to see that the money spent for infrastructural development, for all these kind of review meetings which keep taking place, they're all made public.
Yep.
It has to be made public. What were the recommendations which came out? What was the timeline given? I want to understand by when we can see that everybody gets potable drinking water which is safe and which is given at a time when I need it the most. And you must appreciate, Kabir, that what happens is poor citizens, they have no option. They have to drink that contaminated water.
Absolutely. And we need more accountability on that front. We need absolutely more accountability. 76 years of independence and the Indian citizens still cannot take clean drinking water for granted. That's absolutely abhorrent. It's absolutely shameful. I'm sorry, Wing Commander. I've completely run out of time here. The PCR is in my ear. I need to go into a quick commercial breather here.
He's not a political analyst. He's a BJP spokesperson. And
it doesn't matter anymore, Wing Commander. It doesn't matter anymore. Those who have fallen ill have fallen ill. Those who have lost their lives have lost their lives. And that's the bottom line here. We need more accountability in the face of criminal civic apathy that we're all facing. Let's hope for better days. Let's hope for a better year and a very happy Republic Day on that particular note as well. Dr. Begai, Professor Mishra, Mr. Rana and Wing Commander, many thanks for speaking to us. We're going to slip into a quick commercial breather here. On the other side, we need to talk about cricket. That's coming right on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
लूजर। लाइफ हो या इन्वेस्टिंग, ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस से नुकसान भी हो सकता है। म्यूचुअल फंड अपनाओ और थोड़ी हेवी लिफ्टिंग एक्सपर्ट्स को भी करने दो।
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से संबंधित सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
लास्ट टाइम कश्मीर गई थी ना, वहाँ खाया शहद, पर उसके लिए कश्मीर जाना पड़ेगा। अरे कश्मीर क्यों जाना, कश्मीर ही यहाँ आ गया।
सुंदर वादियों में महकती खुशबू और रंग बिरंगे फूल, इनमें से शहद निकाल कर जमा किया जाता है असली शहद, लायन कश्मीर हनी।
असली शहद, असली स्वाद।
तुम डेस्टिनेशन वेडिंग के लिए बजट रोते थे, पर पिक्स कितनी अच्छी आई हैं।
बहुत क्यूट लग रही हो।
ऑब्वियो, अपने दम पे शादी करने का ग्लो।
इनकी जिद ने किया डेस्टिनेशन वेडिंग का सपना सच अपने दम पर, टाटा कैपिटल पर्सनल लोन्स के साथ।
Many thanks for staying with In Your Interest. Our second segment is, of course, focusing on politics that's killing Bangladesh cricket. Some of their players have come out and spoken openly that they don't have any problems with playing the T20 World Cup in India. There are no safety issues, but there's this big agenda that's killing their income, that's killing the fans' support, and killing cricket in that country as well. Why not talk about that as well? The World Cup is just weeks away, scheduled for February 2026, but the cricketing world is facing a crisis. Now, Bangladesh has officially refused to play the World Cup in India. The ICC is not taking this lightly, needless to say. They have made it quite clear that they are ready to take strict action against the Bangladesh Cricket Board if they do not field a team. The ICC has warned Bangladesh that if they refuse to travel to India and forfeit their matches, they risk being replaced in the tournament, with Scotland likely to step up in as the replacement team based on the rankings. Bangladesh has not backed down. Their sports advisor has called the ICC security assessment unacceptable, and the government has reiterated the boycott stance. But the BCP has now approached the ICC's appellate tribunal, it's the Dispute Resolution Committee, in a last-ditch attempt to challenge this decision, though reports suggest that the panel may not have the authority to hear this kind of appeal against a board-level ruling. Everybody voted against it. It was just Pakistan and, of course, Bangladesh that wanted their matches and the venues to be shifted to Sri Lanka. Pakistan also came in playing that spoiled sport, saying we'll host the matches. Quite rich, coming from a country that's biggest export is terrorism. It's the culmination of the India Out campaign, you see. A movement that has been simmering over 2 years now, ever since the ouster of Sheikh Hasina. It began online in late 2023. What started as social media calls to boycott Indian goods quickly turned political, with protesters alleging Indian interference in the 2024 elections. But the real turning point came in August 2024, following the exit of Sheikh Hasina. Since then, the momentum has only gone on to build. Under the interim government era, the campaign has widened. It wasn't just about politics anymore. Long-standing issues regarding border disputes, water sharing, minority rights, they were all used to fuel a deep anti-India sentiment. And by 2025, just last year, the target shifted from Indian products to Indian cricket. We saw calls to boycott the T20 World Cup emerge, and now in 2026, that rhetoric has become officially a policy. The ICC argues that it is simply too late to make shifts now. The schedule is locked for February. The ICC has emphasized that the integrity of the tournament comes first. They cannot allow one team's demand to override the collective interest of the sport. They also called the proposal to swap venues with teams like Ireland or Zimbabwe unfair to other nations. And the Bangladesh government says the current environment is unacceptable. But the BCB, the cricket board in Bangladesh, calculated the cost of this defiance. Financially, this could be a disaster for the Bangladesh Cricket Board. They stand to lose up to 60% of their revenue, nearly 240 crore rupees from the ICC share alone. Beyond the money, they face a potential ban from future global events. And perhaps most critically, this could permanently sever bilateral cricket ties with India, which is the financial lifeline for any cricketing nation. Everybody wants to play India, either at their home or over here at ours. The BCB claims there will be no loss. But without ICC funding and Indian opposition, the country's cricketing development could come to a grinding halt. Big question that we're asking tonight. An esteemed set of panelists with me on the broadcast. The India Out campaign started with consumer goods, but can Bangladesh really afford to apply that same logic to the global economy of cricket when it comes to India, that too? If the ICC replaces Bangladesh with Scotland, does it send a final message that political grievances have no place in World Cup scheduling? Shekhar Vijayan, sports commentator, with us on the broadcast, and Salahuddin Shoaib Chaudhary, editor, Blitz, Bangladesh, live with us from Dhaka. You know, Mr. Vajan, let's get the ball quickly rolling. I only have limited amount of time. Missing a World Cup doesn't just mean lost matches. It means lost in rankings. I just spoke about the financial aspect of it all. Sponsorships. There's a global exposure that Bangladesh is going to be a miss with. How big of a blow is this decision to a generation of Bangladeshi fans and cricketers?
Well, it's Kabir, I think it's really big, and good evening to my fellow panelists from Bangladesh. You know, Kabir, like what you just spoke about was trouble which has been brewing for a long time in Bangladesh. I think it's an outcome of it, from the fact that I think it all started from the fact that Hindus were getting hurt, getting killed in Bangladesh, and an outcome of that is the cricket which is getting affected. Now, I think one grave mistake which Bangladesh has made is by mixing politics, religion, and sports together. And they were trying to do this at the wrong time when the World Cup is around the corner. I'm talking about around the corner because I think in a few weeks' time the World Cup is going to start. Now the players are in trouble. The board has put the players under the bus. The players who had a good chance to express themselves, show their, obviously the World Cup comes once in 2 years, and here they're not able to express themselves, they're not able to showcase their talent. I think it's a great opportunity which is going to be missed by them because they don't know whether they're going to play the tournament or not. Every day the decisions keep changing. The Bangladesh board is also committing harakiri with them because they're just going on this drive that they want to prove India wrong, which is certainly not correct. The only way to deal with this is to just play the tournament and consider this as a game of cricket and nothing else. Don't mix anything with this. What Bangladesh is doing it because elections are around the corner. They want to make it a political issue. They want to put India under the bus, which goes.
But what about the ICC now mulling strict action? ICC is mulling strict action. 240 crore rupees from the ICC share alone. I mean, the Bangladesh cricket players, they want that kind of revenue now, don't they?
Absolutely, Kabir. Kabir, this is a lot of money for Bangladesh and for the players. The players' only job in a World Cup is to come, play, showcase their talent, and do it to the best of their ability. Here, they're going to focus on the fact whether they're going to play, they're not going to play, how much is going to be the match fees, how much is going to be the penalty. All those things are going to be riding in their head. And that's going to affect their performance, everything about it. The system, the Bangladesh board had to just do one thing right, make sure Bangladesh plays the World Cup. They didn't do that. There are political decisions which have influenced it, of course, with also Pakistan around the corner. And ultimately what has happened, Bangladesh is not going to be there in the tournament, may or may not be there in the tournament. The fans will get upset, of course. Bangladesh has got very passionate fans. If I look at the pictures right now, which is going on in a capsule, we can see that the fans will be devastated if this happens. And they're so
most of those matches were expected to take place in the Eden Gardens as well. It's electric atmosphere over there. And now the fans are going to be missing out on that World Cup window. Let's bring in our other guest joining us live from Bangladesh, from Dhaka, Salahuddin Shoaib Chaudhary ji, editor, The Blitz, with us. Bangladeshi players have openly said that there is no safety concern. Liton Das, Najmul Shanto, they've come out and said, we want to play in India. Then what's the problem here? Who's taking this call? Is it all because of the elections? Is it all because of the anti-India sentiment? You're taking quite literally money from the hands of your own players. You're killing your own nation's cricket.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kabir. I do hope that my esteemed co-panelist, Mr. Shikhar Vijayan, also will agree with me, because Bangladeshi people, 180 million, we are a cricket-loving nation. And the cricket could unite this nation. But as you were mentioning, that these kind of the nasty actions are the culmination of India Out campaign. And the India Out campaign was one of the meticulously designed plots of someone who planted Yunus into power. And Yunus is destroying the pride of the nation one after another. And cricket is our pride also. And he is now, he wants to let Bangladesh cricket turn into a cascade and be buried. So this is a very dangerous situation where an illegal regime is working against the emotion and sentiment of the people, because cricket is a sentiment and emotion of Bengalis and the people in the Indian subcontinent. So I do really feel sorry for our players in
the cost to Bangladesh itself. Let's talk a little bit about that. The Cricketers Welfare Association, is it not strong enough to raise voices? We've seen Shanto come out and speak. We've seen Liton Das come out and speak. They've been branded as pro-India or Indian agents. But Bangladesh risks losing ICC revenue, sponsorship. It risks losing global goodwill. Is that not something to fight for?
You see, this massive financial penalty that may be imposed on Bangladesh cricket board. I mean, this is absolutely unbearable, huge. So I do believe that Bangladeshi cricket fans will come on the street protesting such ridiculous decision of Yunus regime. And one more thing, Mr. Kabir, I would like to humbly notify you that this regime is even considering banning ICC from the broadcasting in Bangladesh. I mean, they want to stop us from watching ICC. So this is a clear war against ICC, the clear war against the international sports. It's nothing to do with India. And you know, as Mr. Shekhar Vijayan will also agree, that India is dictated by Pakistan, a pagan nation, and terror patron nation. And we are not a terror patron nation. We are Bengalis. But he has waged war against Bengalis. And very ridiculous. I mean, banning ICC match in Bangladesh.
It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if that's going to go out or not. I think, we've seen those kind of protests with the ouster of Sheikh Hasina. I think larger protests will take place if the ICC is banned from, broadcasting their matches. But Mr. Vijayan, if Bangladesh sits out a World Cup that is hosted by India nonetheless, what happens next? We're talking about bilateral cricket that goes away. No more IPL, no more ICC goodwill. Is Bangladesh risking long-term isolation? How do you think this is going to play out? Forget about the T20 World Cup.
I think it's a very, very, it's always a very impulsive decision. This decision which the Bangladesh has taken is very impulsive. It's only based on emotions more than just thought process. And they're paying, and they're bearing the brunt of it. Like I said earlier, I think the Bangladesh Cricket Board is solely responsible for this. I think it's a pure game of upmanship, ego. The fact that how could a player from KKR be asked to go and come back to Bangladesh because of what happened, and now they want to belittle India and show India. Now that the World Cup is around the corner, show India that with the 12 league nations also playing, that Bangladesh is bigger than this. But they don't realize that no country is bigger than the game. No country, be it an India, be it a Sri Lanka, be it a Pakistan, or be it a Bangladesh. There's no country bigger than the game. Ultimately, who's going to miss out? It's Bangladesh because of their own decisions. Because of like Sir just mentioned, I think there are other external forces which are involved in this. Elections are around the corner. It's a political situation. They should have just let the players focus on the World Cup. The players are confused. The players, there are obviously contrasting voices in the Bangladesh cricket camp. They don't know where they are going, whether they're coming, where the match is going to happen, where are the venues. They have no clarity about it. This is before a multinational tournament like the World Cup. So in a T20 World Cup, things change very quickly.
And it's absolutely right. It's so unfair on the other teams. It's so unfair on the other teams. I mean, rescheduling would mean the other teams would have to reschedule as well. Would have to, realign their travel plans once and for all over again. It's hard and fast. Everything is so calculated. Sponsors have been sold. The TV broadcasting rights have been sold. Hotels have been booked. I mean, so much of logistics that is at play over here. I've completely run out of time here. My final question to Mr. Shoaib Chaudhary here. Bangladesh's concerns. Let's hear it from somebody who's sitting in Dhaka about safety, about an unsafe travel to India. I mean, they are ready to play in Pakistan, that we don't need any evidence, exports terrorism. They're ready to play in Pakistan, but they don't want to play in India. Are those concerns genuinely reasonable? Let's hear it from somebody who's getting in touch with us live from Dhaka.
Mr. Kabir, the Bangladesh itself has become a burning inferno. If each of us are insecure in this country, and now you're talking about security in India. India is the safest nation for us. I mean, we cannot compare the situation in Bangladesh. If the Yunus wanted to ban someone from the risk of danger, he should ban each of us from coming out of home. Because this country has become a playground of the jihadis and Islamists, and the Yunus is pushing Bangladesh towards the fate of a caliphate. And we cannot afford becoming a caliphate. And this boycott, this not participation, and again, as I said, ban on ICC match telecast in Bangladesh, these are all signals of Bangladesh becoming a caliphate.
All right, then. I think we'll leave it there. This is the playground of the jihadist element and, of course, the Islamist rule that we're taking a look at over there. I think it's all because of the elections. You know what they say? In the end, it's the sport that wins. It's the sport that loses. Of course, cricket will continue to win. But in this case, it's Bangladesh that will end up losing. Even if they come and play the match now, even if they come and attend the World Cup T20 now, we know what the atmosphere is going to be like inside those stadiums. So Bangladesh already at a loss. My heart goes out to the entire cricket fraternity in Bangladesh that does want to come out and play, but they sadly, and it seems like, can't come out and play and can't even raise their voices. They've been kept in the dark. Mr. Vijayan, many thanks for speaking to us. Mr. Shoaib Chaudhary, a pleasure joining us live from Dhaka. We're going to slip into a quick commercial breather here. That's all in this edition of In Your Interest. Top developments right on the other side.
घर